Good afternoon from Universal Studios, Florida. We are here tonight because it is the opening day of Halloween Horror Nights 30. Very, very exciting day. I do have to give you a little bit of a warning though. There will be some adult themed items here in this video, so we might have some scary stuff. There might be some gore, there might be some flashing lights. So if these are things that you are sensitive to, I would not recommend watching the rest of this video. The rest of you guys, stick around. It's gonna be a fun night. We're gonna head in a little bit early to try to get a spot in Stay and Scream. In 2019, the last year that we went, there were 3 different Stay and Scream areas. There was New York, Springfield, and then there was Hello Kitty or Betty Boop. This year, there's only 2. There's New York and there is Springfield. So we're gonna head in and try to get into the New York Stay and Scream area. So it is about 3 o'clock and people are already waiting outside of the gates. These are people that are probably hoping to see the opening ceremonies, or maybe they don't have a daytime pass so they can't get into the Stay and Scream area. Either way, people are excited for opening night of Halloween Horror Nights. So I actually got a little bit more information about the Stay and Scream area that was over here in 2019. It is going to be overflow for the 2 Stay and Scream areas. If they reach capacity, if there's too many people in them, they'll send people over here to the Hello Kitty Betty Boop Today Cafe area, and this will be an overflow area. Just made it back into Springfield and they're setting up the Stay and Scream area right now. It's about 3:40 and they've started putting out signs saying where the Stay and Scream area is. There are also already signs out for Halloween Horror Nights Express to be sold. You can actually buy it right here too. Halloween horror bots. They're robots in disguise. All right, so the idea is to get into this walled off area. That will be the Stay and Scream area for New York. But I've been talking to some people and they said, don't try to get into it over this way. Go around over there by Transformers. That's where you want to be to get in. So I got to go back the way that I came and we'll try to get in that way. So we're all trying to figure out where to go for Stay and Scream. If we kind of look back there, we can see a big crowd out in front of Central Park. That is the Stay and Scream crowd waiting to be led into Central Park. That's not the Stay and Scream zone that I want to be in. I want to be in New York. So I'm going to head this way. I don't see a big crowd back here though. So I'm wondering where they let people in to Stay and Scream back here. All right, it looks like we found our line to get into the New York Stay and Scream area. So we're gonna hop in line now. So it's about 4 o'clock right now, and they're not gonna let us into the Stay and Scream area until 5. And I just realized that there's a $30 Scream early ticket that you could buy that gets you in between the hours of 3 and 5. So basically you're paying $30 to stand in line here. I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah, I mean, it might be on a night where you know that it's gonna be sold out. I don't know, what do you guys think? Looking across the lagoon here, you can see the other Stay and Scream area over there, kind of split up into 2 different lines. One line's going to Haunting of Hill House and Beetlejuice, and the other one is going to Scary Horror in the Heartland. All right, looks like we've got 4 different lines that we could go into for them to scan our ticket. All right, there we go. We're in the New York area of the park. So because they're doing things a little bit different this year, we're still trying to figure out where actually to head to within this Stay and Scream area. So I think if we head this way, this seems to be the way that everybody is heading. That's where they're gonna be letting people out towards the houses. Those is kind of neat. They've got signs out here saying which house you're gonna go into first, depending on where you are. So over here, Bride of Frankenstein Lives, and then on this side, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I think I wanna do Bride of Frankenstein Lives. I know I did it last year, but my goal is to hit the scare zones while it's still light out. So I'm gonna go through a house real quick first, because that's just the way that Stay and Scream works, is they just push you to a house. Then we'll hit a scare zone afterwards. Looks like the food booths in here are ready to go. I don't know if I can order food right now. We might try that. It looks like the tradition will remain. We should get some rain on opening night here. So, interesting thing is that this direction is for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the line is pretty long. I'd say maybe like 50 people to 100 people long. And then this over here is the line for Bride of Frankenstein's Lives. Maybe like 15, 20 people in it. All right, I found a QR code if you're interested in knowing what food and beverage offerings are here at Halloween Horror Nights. You can scan this off your screen right now. But I decided to stop by one of the Jack tents here, and I'm gonna get this fried peanut butter and jelly. All right, here's what I got. This is the No Chance in Hell PB&J. Deep fried peanut butter and grape jelly Uncrustable, finished with a hot honey drizzle. So you can see it's got some red pepper flakes on it, and it's just a deep fried Uncrustable sandwich. Looks like it's gonna be interesting. All right, so I just tried the fried Uncrustable. It was really good, like remarkably good. It wasn't as spicy as I thought it was gonna be. I saw those red pepper flakes on the top and I was like, ooh, I don't know. That looks like it might be spicy. but it wasn't overly spicy. It did have a little tiny kick to it, but like my mouth isn't burning now. The spice and the sweet of the honey went together so well, and all of that went really well with the grape jelly and the peanut butter, and it was a different experience tasting an Uncrustable after it's been deep fried, because everything inside was warm. All the peanut butter was warm, all the jelly was warm, and the outside was just super crispy. I would get it again. I recommend you get it. It was really good. So now I do need a water now though, because it's just like 1,000 degrees out. It's about to rain, so the humidity is like spiking and the heat is spiking. We're ready for it though. Yeah, this is it. Opening night. Always rains every opening day of Halloween Horror Nights. We're getting nice and soaked tonight. There's some thunder too. We are moving. We are headed to our very first house of Halloween Horror Nights 30, and we're gonna do Bride of Frankenstein's Lives. Yeah, this is exciting. Woo! I'm getting dripped on, my umbrella's leaking. All right, here we go. Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Oh, people are going through Express already. Look at that. There's like 50 people ahead of us. Crossing underneath Rip Ride Rocket. Heading over here to the theatrical and television production facilities. These are the sound stages. All right, first house of the season. Bride of Frankenstein Lives. All right, so we just got through with Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Just as good as it was last year. It's not even better. Like, it felt so good to head into a Halloween Horror Nights house after all this waiting. It was so nice. Few things that I thought were really, really good in the parts of the house that we saw that I thought was done really well is the opening scene. Like the very first facade that you see. So the idea is that like the castle collapses on Frankenstein's monster, and the bride finds him with this huge beam on him. She's like, he's dead. And she like tries to pick the beam up off of him. And as I was walking underneath the beam, she's picking it up and like trying to like throw it out of the way, and she just can't do it. She's not strong enough. She just drops it. It seems like it's gonna fall on your head, but it doesn't. And then you head in, and her plan is to kind of try to collect the brides of Dracula, because she thinks that their blood will bring her monster, her mate, back to life. She's trying to like harvest their blood, and she also has like regular humans that she's trying to take their pieces to put back on Frankenstein's monster. Like he's missing a leg, missing an arm, so she is harvesting those things from like normal people. Another great scene that we saw was there was a flying Dracula's bride, where I came to the end of a hallway and there was just like a window there, and then the like blue lights and some fog were flashing, and then from the back of a hallway you see a bride of Dracula come swooping down, and she comes right up to the window, or right up to the hole in the wall. Just kind of pops out at you. Oh, it's so good. And then of course, hello. And then of course the finale was amazing. So she has finally recreated her monster, her mate, and then she's got him on the operating table. She's ready to throw the switch, and then a bride busts in and she's trying to stop the procedure. And then she finally is like, no, he will live. And she throws the switch, and all kinds of sparks happening, pop, 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 pop. And then he comes to life, and he is there to help her, protect her from the Bride of Dracula. So it was awesome. Phenomenal house. I think we can head into Texas Chainsaw now. I'm gonna kind of peek down there. It sounds like the event has started. I'm gonna peek down there and see if anybody's out in the scare zone. Because it rained, I don't know if they will have any of the actors. Oh no, I can see there are some people out in Seek and Destroy. So I'm gonna head up to 30 Years, 30 Fears, see if there's any actors out there, and then we'll start doing scare zones before we head into any more houses. Well, it's still a little bit lighty out. Actually, it kind of looks like people are running in from the outside gates. It's still a little bit rainy, so I'm not really seeing anybody up there at 30 Years, 30 Fears. So let's head into Texas Chainsaw first. Oh my, 45-minute wait. All right, it looks like they are just opening up Icons, so we're gonna head back to Icons. Seek and Destroy. There are some people out and about. All right, headed into Icons. Doesn't seem like there's too much of a wait. I do have the Express Pass, but I decided not to use it on this go around. Oh, so we are in line for Icons. It's moving pretty quick, and this is the Express line next to us, so I know that I think I made the right choice not using my Express just yet. There, that's where we're headed to, Soundstage 24 for the Icons house. We're just pretty soaked over here. It is really raining. So we just got done with Icons Captured. It was a really good house. I liked it a lot. It was kind of like a love letter to Halloween Horror Nights fans. So you start off and you enter in the facade, is like this kind of like gates, but they have like viney, kind of rooty looking, like tangled look to them. And then just underneath that, there's totems to each of some of the major icons, and these are the icons that you'll see in the house. So as soon as you get in, you start to see like all of them. Then it starts to go into different sections. So you head into the caretaker section, and you see the caretaker doing everything that he's done in the past, where he's kind of like dissecting bodies. And then you head into the director's section, and he's making a movie out of you. You head into the usher's section, and you are in the actual movie theater where the usher is, and he's telling everybody to be quiet. So a little fun Easter egg is that all of the movie posters in the usher's theater are the movies from Slaughter Cinema, which is a house from a previous Halloween Horror Nights. And then you start to head into like the Lady Luck's area. And then towards the end of the house, that's where you start to see them all coming at you again. We even get a little peek at Bloody Mary. And you start to see all of the different icons come at you a little bit more. And then you head into the final hallway, where you'll have a mix of different icons, and it'll change throughout the night. So in my case, I got to see Lady Luck on one side, and then I think the usher was on the other side, and then straight ahead of me, Jack was on the throne. And it was really neat, because as soon as I entered the room, he pointed at the line, and then he stood up out of the throne, and he was like, ah! And like these huge bursts of smoke came up on either side of him. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. So basically the plot of that house was a love letter to Halloween Horror Nights fans. The other thing that I thought was like a neat little Easter egg is in each icon section, they had the vintage shirts from that year on bodies throughout that section. So like if it was the Usher's year, you saw the shirt, the Halloween Horror Nights shirt from when the Usher was the icon. So, all right, it's still raining out, so there is nobody out in any of the scare zones. So I think we're gonna head into some more houses. Before we head to the next house, we're gonna stop off and grab this donut slider. So here's what we got. We got Jacked Donut Slider, certified Angus beef slider with bacon jam, cheddar cheese sauce on a bourbon glazed donut. Looks kind of ridiculous. It almost looks like they put that hot honey on there too. And they gave us house-made chips. This was $9.99. It looks pretty nice. Before we get started to eating it, I wanted to show you guys a cross-section of the burger. I'm excited to give it a try. Oh, so this is like getting me in the Halloween Horror Nights mood. I'm just underneath a red neon sign right now. So just tried that donut burger. That donut burger was $9.99. Of course, everything at all the food items you are getting an annual pass holder discount on. So got my annual pass holder discount on it. It was good. Like, I like the concept of it, but I feel like there were too much donut. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because if they had just taken one donut, one of the little donuts, and cut it in half, and then put the slider in between that, it would have been perfect. But then people probably would have been complaining that it wasn't enough. So they did 2 donuts to make it look taller, and that way it feels like it's worth the $9. I know it's not, it's still theme park prices. It feels like it's worth the $10 for this slider. But the bourbon, like on the donuts, kind of like took over. And I think it would have been better just one donut sliced in half with the burger in between it. Because it's such a thin patty, such a small patty. I would say try it for yourself. You might like it. I wasn't, like, I think it could have been better, but it wasn't terrible. All right, I think we're gonna head over to Case Files Unearthed as our next house. Still no scare actors out in the scare zones because it's still raining a little bit. They should be out later tonight. So we have made it into Eddie's scare zone. Lights, camera, action. It looks like we've got some scenic trucks out and about. And they've put more props out. So when we did the reviews of this during the day, the props weren't. Oh, look at that. That's pretty fun. There's just like a guitar amp in there. There was a guy in there too. There weren't all of these props out in the center of the street. So there is some new stuff out and about. Still no scare actors. Hello! Oh no, this person was dismembered on a table saw. All kinds of woodworking stuff. I wonder what this is. Oh, issued August 31st, 2021. Reissued September 3rd, 2021. That's the opening day. I like this. Lights, camera, action. Pretty neat that they have all these other sets that weren't out during the day that they roll out just for Halloween Horror Nights. I wonder what's going to be happening on all these stages. And I like that you can see where people were, like the set team was still making the set when tragedy happened and somebody got their head drill pressed. Oh no. There's a food truck out here Oh no, just the fog. Oh no, now we can see there's just a hand there. I'll mix all of the craft services stuff. Beat it. Oh no, they have Rocky Mountain oysters. And then of course the person who was running the food truck did not make it. All right, next house that we're headed into, 40-minute wait for Case Files Unearthed, Legendary Truth. This is one that I was most excited for. We're gonna head in right now. So we are headed into Case Files Unearthed. Not a very long line here in the express line. All right, so I have to be a little bit loud because the music is kind of blaring everywhere. Just got out of Case Files Unearthed. Awesome, awesome house. Like, so you walk in and it's like somebody's that's researching what's happening with Legendary Truth and all the monsters and everything. And they're kind of like talking about totems. And then it switches to like a film noir type thing where you are like following along like a detective story. And as you're walking through the house, you see the like front of these old-timey detective novels that were written by Boris Schuster. And then that novel that you see the cover of happens. So some thoughts that stood out to me was like, there was one that was about a beast. It was like this gigantic wolf man looking guy that came out. There was the Kitty Cat Club, but they were like she-devils. And there was this lady up on stage and she was singing, but you could see she had pointy ears. So you knew that she was like some form of devil or something like that. It was really cool. And then at the end of that, the bartenders were dressed like kitty cat devil type people. And then there was this gigantic head that pops out at you as you turn a corner, like a gigantic devil head. It was really fun. Another neat thing was we kind of came back to present day and you could see there was this guy that was trying to summon something. And there was like this gigantic, like a summoning circle on the ground, but he's bent down and there's like light shooting out of his eyes and mouth. And then it ends on the Legendary Truth medallion. Legendary Truth is the organization that researches everything Halloween Horror Nights. It was really neat. Still raining, so I'm guessing there's still not any actors out in the scare zones. So let's go try to find another house. Also, I did want to mention that if you want to take a break from the spooky action, you could head into Transformers. They are operating this ride right now. It's only a 5-minute wait. So here's something that's neat about Universal is inside of the Legendary Truth house that we just went through, they had this facade. And this is just out in the streets. Oh, dang. With the rain and everything, look at that searchlight. That looks way cool. And then another thing to note is that just across the way over here, we can see Boris Schuster, Private Investigations. Right there up on the window. And that is the author that you are following through the noir, like the film noir storyline inside of Legendary Truth. I don't know that I've ever seen this before. It says Madame Bestel. And then there she is. She's doing a Ouija board inside. Looking all spooky in there. Back there on the New York Public Library facade, we got eyes and 30 years of fear. Oh, I tried to stay out of the rain, but I just tilted my umbrella back and got soaked. All right, up next, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, based on the 1974 movie. Let's do it. I feel like it's kind of fun at this point, like the rain, because this is just an opening night tradition of Halloween Horror Nights. You're wet, but you're having fun. The way that we're moving up to the front here has definitely made the express pass worth it. All right, this is where we're headed, Soundstage 23. To see Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So we just got done with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the neat thing about Halloween Horror Nights is anytime they do a movie or an IP, it pretty much follows the plot of that movie or television show to a T. So if you've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know this house. You enter in the gas station and there's barbecue and you can smell the barbecue cooking, and then right off the bat, Leatherface. Like, Leatherface is everywhere in this maze. At one point at the end, there was just like a Leatherface, then a Leatherface, then a Leatherface, then a Leatherface, then a Leatherface. Kind of all over the place. There was a couple of times that actually got me. We head outside to the farm and there are pigs. And a pig kind of jumped out from around the corner and got me, like scared me. And then it blew some like water on me, like a spray of water. Also, we could see the rest of the family. We could see Grandpa a little bit. There was another scene where we head in where all the feathers are everywhere, bones. We got to see the sewing machine that Leatherface uses to make his leather face. I really enjoyed that house. So far, every single house that we've gone through has been fantastic. So, still raining, still no actors on the street, so we're gonna go try to find another house. All right, as we are walking to our next house, I wanted to show off the crowd level. It's definitely starting to get a little bit packed. We're headed into Seek and Destroy. Hopefully they will have actors out a little bit later, because hopefully the rain will stop. Ooh, the controller sees all. Oh, all these people have been drained of their blood because the idea behind this scare zone is that a cyber alien regime uses people as fuel and drains them of their blood. It certainly looks really cool with these spotlights out here, especially in the rain. Oh yeah, look. See, they're draining this body right here. You can see these large tubs of blood all lit up. These are some of the things that we couldn't see during the day. And this screen that says obey the controller. Wow. That's intense looking. Now we are headed towards the back of the park. We're gonna try to get through Scary, maybe Wicked Growth, maybe Puppet Theater, maybe Haunting of Hill House. I feel like we only have 6 more houses to do, and I think they're all in the backpack here. Oh, it looks like some actors are out in the Crypt TV section. There's the look-see. So this is exciting. We are in the Crypt TV section, and we are starting to see some characters, some scare actors come out. Now we know what these little trailers are. They have like giant TVs in them showing off some of the episodes of Crypt TV. Oh no, he got his fingers caught in a shredder. Also, I thought there was going to be actors behind the plexiglass here. There's not. You can see it looks like somebody is kind of searching through the woods with a flashlight. Love it. No, they pointed at me. I don't like that. Oh, just to let you guys know, there is kind of a bottleneck coming in and out of this scare zone. You can kind of see it's a little bit tight, and people are stopping at the stage to see what's going on here with like Sunny Family Cult. Also, it should be noted that there are way more characters that are supposed to be in this scare zone, but like I said, it's still raining just a little bit. But I like that they've started putting characters out. Just a real quick stop into Diagon Alley. I want to see what the crowd level's like in there, and to show you that it's not spooky at all. You can kind of see already because there's no music over here. It's exactly like it would be during the day. Let's see. Well, there's still a few people in here, but not a lot. Not a lot of people at all. Back here at the Fear Factor stage, Halloween Nightmare Fuel is the show that happens back here. I don't know if we'll have time to see it tonight, but we'll definitely be seeing it very soon. It is about 8:40. The next show's at 9:30, and they've already started loading people into this corral back here. People aren't going into the theater yet, but they are loading into the corral. Ooh, it's a crowded place back here. Oh no, the light's not on for Scary. Where do we go in? What's the wait? All right, let's see what happens. Oh no, it looks like Scary Ohio has jumped up to 75 minutes. All right, heading into Scary Horror in the Heartland. So Scary Ohio is a little bit hard to describe for anybody that hasn't been to Halloween Horror Nights in years past. There are a lot of characters that come from Cary, Ohio, and all of those characters were represented in this house. So you can see HR Blood and Guts, you can see Meaty Meats. There was like a school preacher where there was a burning house. There was just a lot of stuff in this house. Also, pretty sure we got to see Cindy in there. Cindy Kane, who is the caretaker's daughter, who never got to become an icon. She was supposed to become an icon one year, but they changed that last minute, so she never was an icon. There was like almost like a Living Dead type person, something like a zombie almost, but not like new zombies, like an old 1950s style zombie, gaunt face and things like that. I don't know, I really did enjoy the house. It was quick though. It was over real fast, and then it ended with a chainsaw wielding. It kind of looked like somebody that escaped from an asylum or from a prison. She jumped out with a chainsaw. All right, we got a couple of other houses over here. We're gonna go through Wicked Growth, and then I think we're gonna go through Puppet Theater. It was down earlier because of flooding, because of all the rain. We're gonna check and see if they're open now. Ooh, over there in the lagoon, Marathon of Mayhem is happening. Back here by the Men in Black gift shop, there's a little pop-up Horror Nights gift shop where you can get some Horror Nights merch. Wow, here's something that's wild. This is something that I've never seen before. At capacity. So it looks like we're not going into Puppet Theater right now. So, we'll head over to Wicked Growth, which is at an 80-minute wait right now. Here we go, we're headed into Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin. 80-minute wait. Ooh, I'll show you a better look at the facade when we get up there. You can see people heading inside right now. Here we go, we are headed inside. This looks pretty awesome. Alright, so we just got done with Wicked Growth, and that is my favorite house of the night. It was awesome. So basically you head in and you are like entering into a farmhouse that is like decrepit and old and overrun with vines. And then you start to see the people or the things that are taking part in these ritualistic murders of people in order to appease the Pumpkin Lord. And as you go deeper and deeper through the house, you end up almost joining in with them, where you follow them on their path through more and more of these ritual sacrifices. And then there's a witch who is casting a spell in honor of the Pumpkin Lord. And there's actually like a head inside of her cauldron. It's like bubbling and boiling. And then you are plunged underground into the root system of the pumpkins. And there's all these glowing vines overhead. At one point we got to see a gigantic like pumpkin puppet head thing. Oh, phenomenal. I also got scared because somebody reached out of the ceiling and came right in front of my face like this. I did not expect that at all. And then the finale was that we got to see the Pumpkin Lord. It was like this guy with like gourd-like horns coming out of a gigantic pumpkin. And at that point I was like, all hail the Pumpkin Lord. This is great. And then we exited out of the house with one last scare, like a pumpkin-headed guy, but instead of having a face, it was just a mouth with teeth in a pumpkin trying to get us. Fantastic. Also, good news, Puppet Theater is open now, so we're gonna head inside. It's got an 80-minute wait. We're gonna use our express. Oh, good news, it's dropped down to 50 minutes. There we go, we're going into Puppet Theater Captive Audience. Well, this is kind of strange. So the regular line is over to the right and express is over here, I think. It's very confusing as to what's going on. I think we're in the express line, but we're just kind of like standing out in the middle over here, out by the Men in Black gift shop. I can't quite figure it out. Here we go, we are headed into Puppet Theater. Al Kane, caretaker, Dr. Albert Kane. Is this a fire truck? I think it is a fire truck. Oh no, I'm just in a giant puddle. Alright, we just got out of Puppet Theater Captive Audience. Another great house. Like, so far, it's my number 2. My number 1 being Wicked Growth, my number 2 being Puppet Theater Captive Audience. It was a fun house. So much happening in there. The idea is that you're going into an abandoned theater that this puppeteer and this ballet troupe have been trapped in. And they want to use you as their props and as their puppets. So you like kind of weave through the different sections of the theater. I got to see the stage, I got to see backstage. There was one character that was on a trap door underneath the stage. I was gonna go through wardrobe. I liked the ballet troupe, but they seemed like actors to me, but they were wearing like various costumes from different stage productions that they put on. And they would pop out from around the corner and they have like a little fake sword and they're talking, you know, they're doing like poetry or prose or like they're running lines, but at the same time murderously where they're attacking you. So I really like the one scene where the stage was on our right and then to our left was where the audience would sit, and there was a lady up in the box seats who was like commenting on the show, and then she ends up killing like a mannequin right next to her. It was super fun and funny. And then the other parts that were super fun were the little like puppets that they had towards the end. They had marionettes everywhere, and then people that had skin that were acting like puppets. And then there was a guy that had like a beard, but then hanging from his beard were like little legs, as if his head was the head of the puppet, and then there were like little legs hanging out that were the body of the puppet. I really enjoyed it. So we only have three houses left, but I don't know if we'll make it through Tooth Fairy. We did go through Tooth Fairy last year because that was one of the houses that was available during the day. So we'll put a link to that video in the description down below where we talked about how we went through Tooth Fairy last year. If we have time to tonight, we're gonna go through it. Right now, we've got Haunting of Hill House and Beetlejuice to go through, and we're gonna try to get some pizza fries. Pizza fries are a staple of Halloween Horror Nights. We're going over there to Kids Zone, that's where they sell them. So we're gonna try to get some of those, and then possibly go through those two houses, and then Scare Zone time. Hopefully it has not been raining for enough time that the actors and scare actors are populating the scare zones. We'll find out soon. So we are headed through Springfield right now, and I can say there are no chainsaws out here this year. Well, that's okay. Lots of other scare zones for us to go through. This was, when there were chainsaws out here, it was one of my favorite places to sit and just watch people getting scared. I was thinking about getting in line for Twisted Taters because I thought, oh, it's not too bad. Then I realized the people in line are just sitting on the curb back there, and it goes almost all the way back into Springfield. I wonder how long the line is for the tea sandwiches. Oh, this is also another long one. Wow. Now must be the time that everybody's hungry because we thought we would just pop over here and get some pizza fries, but the line comes all the way out here. Holy cow, that's a big long line. But it is time to head into Beetlejuice. I think we're gonna get food later because all the lines were really long. Weird. We're waiting in line to go in Beetlejuice, and Jack just drove by on a golf cart. I like this facade, but I would have liked for there to have been more. You know, like this is just like a poster, like a sticker they put up on the wall. Whereas in years past, they've had props and all kinds of other stuff out front. All right, so we just got through with Beetlejuice, and one of the things that I love about Halloween Horror Nights is that they love to follow the plot of movies exactly. So we get to follow the Maitland's journey right after they die in their car crash and kind of go through their trying to save their house from the new owners, and then end up meeting with Beetlejuice, and then go through the whole ordeal that is Beetlejuice. So a couple of my favorite scenes from this, Dante's Inferno, definitely amazing. Like getting to see that gigantic facade and all that when you're walking in. There was a giant Beetlejuice head. That was fun. We got to see the wedding scene. Sorry, I'm going out of order. The very first thing that I remember from the house is Lydia jumping out and going, I myself am strange and unusual, and that was like supposed to be a scare. This house wasn't really scary. It was more fun than scary. Then we got to go up into the attic. We got to see the model of the town. Then we got to see Beetlejuice get introduced. See all aspects of Beetlejuice. Him in his taxi outfit, him in his wedding outfit, him when he's got all the spikes coming out of him near Dante's Inferno. Also, spoiler alert, the finale, amazing. Gigantic sand snake up above you, coming after you, shaking. It was really good. And of course, we also got to see the table scene, the cocktail party scene, where the shrimp hands come alive and they're coming down from the ceiling. It was so good. Like, this was just a great house. It was a lot of fun. All right, I think on to Haunting of Hill House. Then we will have gone through all of the houses with the exception of the Tooth Fairy, which we did last year, and it'll be time for Scare Zones. We are headed into the Haunting of Hill House. Should follow the show exactly. I'm excited to see what kind of scenes we can see. We were correct. The Haunting of Hill House follows the storyline of the TV show almost exactly. I was blown away by the facade. They literally built Hill House inside of the parade building. Like, the entire thing was in there. I got scared more times in that house. Like, people got me, like, a little startling in that house than I have in any of the houses that we've gone through tonight. It was really fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. I got goosebumps towards the end because people kept popping out and getting me from angles that I didn't think they were going to scare me from. Also, the tall man got taller as the house progressed. First tall man that we saw was just like a tall guy. Then as we went further and further in, he got taller and taller and taller. By the end of it, it was a very tall man at the end of the house. Also, there was these scenes where we would see the bent neck lady behind the walls. And then we followed the entire storyline of the kids And like oh man, it's been so long since I watched this show. But also there was this one dark hallway that we went down, and then after a while it was like so pitch black, and then the lights flashed, and above you was, I think it happened kind of a little bit behind me, but I think it was the bent neck lady that was up there. I don't know. I had a really good time in this house. It's up there for me as far as my house rankings go. I think that it's number 2 right now. So Wicked Growth number 1, Hill House number 2, then Puppet Theater, and then kind of like all the rest of them are still, oh actually, Case Files was really good. So I'm gonna put that at 4, and then kind of all the rest are kind of equal for me right now. So that's it. We've done 9 houses tonight. We didn't do Tooth Fairy, but we need to see some scare zones now. So I think we're gonna head to the front of the park and work our way in through some of the scare zones. All right, scare zone time. We're back up at the front of the park. First stop, 30 Years, 30 Fears. Okay, the rubber chicken. That's exciting. I like the rubber chicken. It is a very short scare zone for sure. We're just heading back through right now. So it just seems like this scare zone is kind of like fire and ladies dancing up there, and this lady with like a rubber chicken knife. And then most people are just doing like photo ops over here. I like that, that was fun. And normally he would be up on stilts, but because it rained tonight, I don't think he's up on stilts just to be safe. All right, next up, Lights, Camera, Action, Eddie's Revenge. This scare zone's just full of characters from previous scare zones, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I like this guy. I like how she's taking a selfie with a chainsaw clown. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. That was great. And then a witch over there next to him. Oh no, look, a pig guy. Oh no, he's getting me with the rubber chicken knife. Thank you. And there he is, the man of the hour. That's Eddie. Whoa. He stuck his booty out. That was awesome. Got a new cast of characters making their way in. Ooh. My goodness. There's a lot of chainsaws heading our way. I love the chaos of a good scare zone. It's just fun in here. One more time through 30 years, 30 fears. Because there are some different characters every time that you go through. I like the spinny candelabra that she has. Oh, big dress twirl. Oh, and then another pumpkin guy. Alright, heading into Seek and Destroy. This is where alien cyber regime trying to get me.
Lay down your will and submit yourself to mine. And I will give you peace. And I will give you immortality. I have immortality. I have power. I am dominant.
I feel like this gives me some like Wizard of Oz vibes.
Do you wish to speak? You approach my genesis with your insignificant technology. Your primitive technology. Remove yourself from my sight.
Oh, so now we know why the camera was up there. That was so whoever's playing the controller can see the people at the stage and you can interact with the controller. Gotcha. Oh, they got chainsaws too. Oh no. I feel so bad for this guy. He's all drained of his life essence. This is kind of fun. I like their fun outfits. Ooh. I like how they have a bubble wand. Well, it's kind of weird heading into this section of the park because for some reason there are less people over here. We're headed back to Crypt TV in San Francisco. Scary knife. Bird, scary bird. Oh no. Ooh. Alright, one last scare zone to go through, so we are headed back towards Transformers and going back towards Lights Cameras Haction, Eddie's Revenge, to head into Gorewood Forest. And of course, a Halloween Horror Nights staple is seeing the Mel's Die-In sign. Normally it says Mel's Drive-In, but they block out the R and the V specifically for Halloween Horror Nights. One last scare zone to go through. Oh, we're doing a cash change right now. There she is, the Terror Queen. Ooh. We're all gathering around. All of the characters from the scare zone kind of coming out of nowhere. Ooh, look at all the trees pulsing. That was awesome. no line for the stuffed brisket sandwich, so I'm doing it. And we got some of Nell's tea sandwiches. This is the stuffed brisket grilled cheese. Oh man, this looks like it's gonna be so good. That stuffed brisket sandwich was so good. Like, it was kind of like oniony, but the onion had a really good flavor to it. So that one is like in my top. I like that better than the Jack Slider. I don't know, I like the peanut butter and jelly, but I feel like that was good because it wasn't sweet. It was like a nice savory dish. I'd get that brisket pressed sandwich and then go get the fried peanut butter and jelly. All right, one more time through Gorewood Forest, then we're heading out of here. Such a cool looking scare zone. Not seeing the motorcycle, but we are hearing it. Oh. Oh no. I like his little leggies swinging back and forth. One last trip through lights, camera, action, and it looks like we've got some characters out on stilts now. Look at the size of that dress. It's huge. I like how everywhere has a pumpkin guy. All right, I just wanted to get this shot really quick as we're leaving. I'm gonna go do the outro where there's a little bit more light, but I wanted to have this behind me as we were leaving, just as like a reminder of the night. It was good. Let's head back to the hotel. So there you have it. That was our trip out to Halloween Horror Nights on opening day. We did a lot of stuff. We did Stay and Scream. We went through 9 of the 10 houses. We went through all the scare zones. We got to try some of the food items. The only thing that we didn't get to do is we didn't get to do the 2 shows. So I think at a later date we're going to try to tackle some of those, or tackle those 2, and possibly do more houses, because the fun thing about Halloween Horror Nights is that the event progresses and the houses will change and they'll adjust them and they'll add scares here or there. It's going to be a great season. Like, this felt fantastic. It was nice being back in like the Halloween spirit and doing a full Halloween Horror Nights event. Felt a little crowded at times, but I just left my mask on the entire time. I never took it off unless I was eating or drinking. One thing I will suggest is make sure you drink lots and lots of water, because although it is nighttime, it still is very hot and humid out, so you are still sweating. It was great. Even though it was a little bit wet, still had a fantastic time. So, all in all, a great day. And with that being said, we are off. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Josh from Cincinnati, Ohio, and now it's time to pay the price.